I haven't done a video in a while like this, so I think I'm going to do one tonight since it's Monday morning and it's 3 a.m. I said what the heck, but a lot has changed since the last time I did like a general house video vlog. One thing I've certainly done with my living room is I'm actually started to get proper furniture for things. I got new furniture for the TV and for the computer, and I got a new computer too. So this is my new box. I built this at the end of September. I've now had it for 2 months. And after having had the old one for 9 years, it is so much nicer to finally have a computer that has guts again for modern computing. Because the old one was starting to get, it wasn't long in the tooth, but it was starting to get slow on its heels, if you get my drift. So yeah, this is the new box. This is another Intel system. It's a Core i5-126 KF RTX 3060 and a Sound Blaster ZSE and all the fans you could want. And I have the same storage setup as I did on the old computer, where I've got, actually this time I have an NVMe on the motherboard for the C drive, and then I have an SSD as a work drive, and I just have a standard hard drive as a storage drive. Unfortunately, I still need a CD-ROM drive, and I also got a 3.5-inch card reader. That way I can take a card like this. This is from StarTech, by the way. And just pop these in here instead of using an external reader. But the only cases I had, or I could find online that served my needs, were non-cable management cases. So the end result here is all this unsightly cableage on the side here. But I've got it out of the way of all the fans, so that's not going to be an issue with that happening, at least. But we do have 2 big fans in the front here, and it does get plenty of air. This is already getting dusty in here because these don't have filters, so I'm going to have to blow this out at some point. Anyway, here's an old YouTube video from 2014 of me putting that system together. I didn't build this current system, or I didn't make a video of me building this current system because I was on call with some people on Discord, and obviously that conversation isn't privy for a wider audience, so I didn't do that. So I guess you could kind of call this the makeup video now. But anyways, I didn't want to get rid of this system because it obviously still had a lot of life left in it, and so after some consultation with some people, I ended up giving it to Demetrius. This dude right here. Hi, Demetrius. So anyways, he's got my computer now, and he's using it to do Blender, Roblox, and 3D printing. But the biggest changes for me has been health-wise. Ever since I got COVID 2.5 years ago, almost 2.5 years ago, my health since then had never really recovered back to the point that it was pre-COVID, and I've just felt like shit the whole time. And after going back and forth with the doctors a lot, testing, whatnot, ruling things out, this summer we finally started to get some progress on things, and one of the things that we figured out was that actually I had lapsed into having a really bad case of sleep apnea, and so now I have to sleep with a CPAP machine. And getting the CPAP machine has basically kind of started getting everything going for me in the right direction again. My health is starting to improve. I've lost a considerable amount of weight. I'm doing daily cardio exercises now. And actually the mask itself isn't as awful as it seems. One major thing that has changed is that actually I'm now sleeping on my couch. I haven't slept in my bed since like the end of September. I just end up, for whatever reason, I just sleep so much better on the couch now than I do in my bedroom with the mask on my face. This is my bedroom today. I have not slept in my bed since September, and now it just sits and holds clothes and stuff. And this is my refrigerator today. It's a lot different than what it was earlier. But one of the things that I've changed up health-wise is I've switched to basically a whole foods ketogenic diet. And so gone are the days of box stuff in the store, and no more grains or breakfast cereals for me, no more potatoes, no more sugar of any kind. I do allow myself some Ghirardelli dark chocolate. I have a little bit of that every night before I go to bed. But this big bag here will last me like 2 weeks. Actually more than 2 weeks, so I'm not eating a whole lot. And then I've got cheese and butter up there. But all in all, everything diet-wise and exercise-wise and health-wise, I've lost since post-SirenCon. I've lost 30 pounds now, and I'm hoping to shed at least another 30 pounds. And if I can get down to about under 210, I'll weigh what I did when I was in high school. Update on the other computers. I actually have a place now to put all my old computers, so I've got this PS230. I need to get an X-Tite card for that. And then I have the Dell Dimensions, and I have the MSI system from 2007 that I put together. But what's going to happen, what's on my bucket list to do, is to get the Dell back to the configuration that I had it in 2007, right before I swapped it out for this machine here. And then with this machine, I have to get some newer hardware in it so that I can put Windows 7 on it, so that it'll be a little more useful to me than just having Windows XP, because nothing supports Windows XP anymore. And then I also need to get a KVM switch, because all three of these computers have PS2 ports on them, so I can have that commonality and use that with one monitor and one keyboard. I got a new stereo system because the JVC that I had for a little over 30 years finally decided to, well, it didn't die, but components in it were starting to go bad, and so it was time to retire it. So I got this Sony system. I have this old Linksys network switch. That's got my computers and my smart TV. There's Peter Gunn. And I also got the C-Crane radio, which will serve its function as AM/FM listening for me on the radio, on the stereo, as well as battery backup for when the power goes out. And what model is this here? This is the CC Radio 2E, and I'm very happy with its performance. It does very good on both the AM and the FM side, even though a lot of people have derided these newer models because they've got the DSP chip as opposed to good old-fashioned coils and oscillators and mixers for receiving and demodulating radio signals. Another thing that's happened in the past 2 years, or the past couple of years, at least since I moved into the house, is I've had to sink a lot of money into replacing the heater and the water heater. The water heater ended up springing the leak and getting my carpet wet. And then I had to get a new furnace because the old furnace, the heat exchanger went out on it. Woke up one morning and the house smelled like rotten eggs, and the CO alarm was going off, so called to the service guy, and he came over and stuck his little camera probe up into the old furnace, and sure enough, the heat exchanger had split. And so it was time to get that thing replaced, and so I've had this now for just over a year, and I've had this just over 6 months. And the total price between both of these units was approximately $4,000. But anyways, I've been in the house now for 6.5 years, and this is officially the longest that I've lived at any one address since I moved out of my parents' house back in 2007. And when you take into account the money that you're saving on a fixed mortgage, even with escrow payments, over what rent is going for these days, it's a substantial amount of money that is going back into my bank. That's not coming out of my bank account, even with all of the expenses that having a house incurs. So overall, I'm very, very happy. Plus the fact that I own my house means that it's my house. I don't have to worry about about a rent payment being late or having to break lease or anything like that. So other than that, I'm hoping that, assuming that everything in the world stays sane in 2024, I'm hoping that 2024 is going to be a very, very good year for me. But that's just a brief report or update of how things are going for me. December of 2023. Thanks for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe.